For a little more perspective on tonight's clash, we're joined by Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, and also Stephen A. Smith joining us from Los Angeles. And Steve, let me start with you.
Hey, Steven.
Let me start with you.
Let me ask you one question. You look great. What time is the tea time? I'm just curious.
I'm not playing golf. I just got out of the gym. I've been working out, and I'm enjoying the West Coast sunshine. Is there a problem with that, Teddy? Is there a problem with that?
No, if you're happy, I'm happy. Really.
Sounds like some jealousy over here from the guy in the suit.
Yes.
But Steve, let me start with you because you recently spoke to both fighters on your show, Stephen A's World on ESPN Plus, and you found out just how real this bitterness is. But from your perspective, how do you think those emotions are going to play out in the actual fight?
Well, to me, I think, believe it or not, that could potentially work against Masvidal. The hatred seems real. There's no doubt about that. You hear a lot about their history. They were once former roommates and former best friends, definitely supported each other throughout the years, and then things went awry, and obviously Colby Covington found out, that his career was in jeopardy because even though he was winning fights, like 7 of his first 8 fights, he was considered relatively boring, and he was going to be out of the UFC, so he had to change his ways and what have you and become a bit more acerbic, a bit more, of a pariah per se or what have you, and he's going about the business, and some people's eyes have taken that entirely too far. As far as I'm concerned, it has worked for him magnificently, I might add, and it's for other fighters to have to deal with. Masvidal is determined to be that guy that deals with it. Now, because he's so emotional himself, if you're going out there looking to take this guy out, the one thing that Covington has shown you is that his stamina is unparalleled. This is a guy that keeps coming. This is a guy that has staying power, so we'll see what transpires with that. It could work to Masvidal's benefit if he catches him early, but if he expends that energy early, it could cost him in the later rounds, which is what Covington has predicted.
Well, speaking of those emotions from Masvidal, Teddy, the last time we saw Masvidal in the cage going against a guy that he has as much resentment for as he does for Colby Covington was Ben Askren in this building 3 years ago. And in that fight, he set the UFC record for fastest knockout in just 5 seconds. So as a trainer, Teddy, how do you turn a fighter's ill feelings towards his opponent into an advantage?
He already knows how. He just showed the proof of it right there, that you control your emotions. You be a professional. That's what it's all about. The first time you get a fighter in the gym, the first thing you tell them, especially if they're starting early, is you say, you never get mad. You never get mad. When you're mad, you're a fool. Stephen understands that. You get mad, you can play with the guy. The guy comes in there throwing all kinds of wild punches. You can have fun with the guy. Be a pro. Control your emotions. That is your first responsibility as a pro. It's not even knowing how to throw straight punches or use your legs. It's control your emotions. He showed that against Askren, which you just showed by giving us the proof of that.
Yeah.
It showed that he can strategize. He can think of strategy above emotion. That's the key right there, that he can be cerebral. He went in that fight and he said, I noticed something. I saw something, in that tape where he leaned forward looking for the shoot. Yeah, he's a great wrestler, but he's got to get close to my body to wrestle.
Yeah.
So before he does that entry point where he starts to lean forward, I'm going to get him there. I'm going to set him up. I'm going to move to the side like I'm not ready, and I'm going to wait for that, and then bang, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to catch him. So he could think with his emotions there. That's the key.
Okay.
Teddy.
Steve?
Stephen.
What are you talking about? How could he have shown that against Ben Askren in 5 seconds?
Didn't
5
they call you?
seconds.
Didn't
How
they
could he
call
have
you?
shown it through 5 seconds?
Oh my God, Stephen! Didn't they call your group already to get out there on the first hole? Come on.
No, I'm not golfing. I don't play golf yet. How did he go short in 5 seconds? Now listen, against Usman.
He thought about it ahead of time. And he had it said. It's called strategy. It's called making a plan. You understand that?
I'm just talking about showing the emotions during the fight.
Listen,
5
Stephen,
seconds. It was planned. I got it. It was orchestrated. I get that. But 5 seconds is not showing your composure.
It took 5 seconds because he understood at the beginning that he was going to look to go to his strength, which was to shoot. He understood that. He saw that in video before. He saw that Askren gives himself up a little bit. He gets lost in space. He starts to lean, just like right there. He starts to lean because he goes to what works for him. Taking a guy down. That's his comfort level. So he understood that He understood he was going to do that very early. Just like when you hit the first ball into the woods, you're going to get out a 9-iron. Really? Because you know.
Let me explain.
You know what you do.
Listen what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I understand he strategized. It wasn't some lucky knee to the head. I get all of that. I'm not accusing Masvidal of being lucky. I know that's skill. But what I'm saying to you is this. I tend to lean towards the fights with Usman. Think about what happened the first fight. He went to full distance on short notice, went to full distance with Usman.
He was surviving, not trying to win. Big difference there.
Right. Hold on, I know that there's a difference, but I want to explain. This is why I'm leaning towards that. Because the second fight against Usman, he's anticipating this is an elite wrestler. That's who I'm going to get. I'm going to have to get into the octagon. I'm going to have to grapple with him. And then he got caught with a straight left shot because he wasn't anticipating, based on the first fight, that he was going to get caught with something like that.
He had a bad habit of leading with his left hook and front. You never do that with a good right-hand puncher.
I agree.
He led with the left hook. Bang, he got caught with the right hand.
Hold on. Let's get to tonight's fight.
Okay.
Because clearly there's an advantage from Covington from a wrestling standpoint. He's the heavy favorite in this fight as well. So how can the striker, the underdog, Masvidal, pull off the upset?
By controlling geography. If you're going to box, you need the outside. You know what geography is, Stephen. Come on, don't look like you're confused. And I don't know what place or state you're staying at right now in the country, because I know you got about 9 of them. But I'm talking about the geography in the ring, where he's got to control the outside, Michael.
Okay.
And if he can control the outside and make Covington fight his fight, make him make mistakes, make him look to shoot a little bit like Askren did.
Okay.
Make him look to shoot. Then he can set traps. He can set traps with uppercuts. He can set traps catching a guy coming in. He has to control his space. His space is on the outside. Covington's space is to get close and get his hands on you. You know, like I love to get my hands on Steven, give him a hug.
All right, Steve, how do you see this fight playing out, though?
For me personally, it's very simple to me. For Masvidal to win, he's got to take him out earlier. The later the fight goes, Covington is at an advantage in that regard. Now, obviously, Covington's a better wrestler, Masvidal's a better fighter, but Masvidal has proven that he's very, very difficult to take down. Let's give credit where credit is due as it pertains to that. He's very skilled. This brother is skilled and he's experienced. What I would
100%.
say my concern is about Covington is this. If Masvidal is different to take down, then you find yourself in a position where you're going to have to be able to strike and strike efficiently. I know that Covington can do that. I just don't know if he has that knockout power the way Usman displayed. I know Masvidal has that kind of power. I don't know if Covington has that kind of power. And that's the only concern that I have. He's the better fighter. He's a better all-around MMA guy as far as I'm concerned. But I look at Masvidal, he's got power in both fists. Plus, he's exceptional in his own right. He's not somebody to be slept on. So my attitude is Masvidal early or Covington late. Masvidal can catch him, but if he doesn't, Covington beats him.
And the irony is, Masvidal's wrestling got a little bit better because he worked with Covington. Covington's striking got a little bit better because he worked with Masvidal. And now they go head-to-head here in the
Covington's a southpaw. He gets hit with right hands. Right hands is the southpaw killer. And guess what? Masvidal has a good straight right hand.
Well, we're going to find out how good it is. Teddy Atlas, appreciate it. We'll be here for the fight. And, of course, Stephen A. on the golf course in Los Angeles here momentarily.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready. There he is. Okay, that's a 10 over. 10 over. He's 10 over. My man.